The world of Mario fan games is interesting, to say the least. But there's one that stands out for the weirdest reason. It's a horror game.
Was that the Bite of 80s?
No, for real though, this game is the predecessor to a small indie game called Terraria. This game was made by Terraria's creator Redigit, and between you and me, I think Nintendo was taking notes.
Write that down, write that down!
Back in 2009, the fan site SuperMarioBrothers.org was founded by Andrew Spinks as a way to show off various fan-made games and wallpapers, but there were a few other things. Namely, a little download for his own fan game, Super Mario Bros. X. It was a game that was pretty small in scope, but it had a lot of potential. Most of the sprites were ripped straight out of Super Mario Advance 4, Super Mario Bros. 3. But his love of other Nintendo games shone through as well. As the game grew more popular, it got better, and Andrew honed his craft. This culminated in the release of version 1.3 in October of 2010, which is the version we're going to look at first and foremost. The main campaign we're going to talk about today, The Invasion 2, strangely enough didn't get added to the game until its 1.2 update. It replaced, you guessed it, The Invasion. Groundbreaking stuff here. The hook of this campaign is that Bowser has teamed up with villains from other realities. Now, where have I heard that one before? Honestly, it's not really utilized all that well here. The only real crossover aspects I could see in my playthrough were an optional fight against Mother Brain in a Metroid-themed level called Ponehammer Deuce, which, wow, what a name. It's the only thing aging this game. And a single Zelda-themed level. Oh, wait, Link, you can play as Link! Honestly, it's sort of impressive that the game has 5 playable characters, not to mention they all play differently. It's a lot like Super Mario Bros. 2, but there are some subtle differences. Mario and Luigi have item reserve slots where Peach, Toad, and Link can each take an extra hit. They also can't ride on Yoshis or slide down hills, but their power-ups are far more unique, like how Peach has bombs instead of hammers. They all play similarly enough where you could switch between them sort of on the fly, but different enough that you could favor one over the others, or pick one for a specific stage that suits them. I did that a lot. Speaking of the controls, I think this game is super fun. It's obviously not one-to-one with the official games, but it's really close. It's easiest to notice with slopes. Walking up or down them works pretty similarly, but when you slide or throw something like a shell, there's a certain kinetic energy that's simply absent in the official games. It makes things like slide levels and Rube Goldberg machines way more fun. This game also features a huge array of power-ups. The usual suspects circa 2009-ish are all here. You got mushrooms, fire flowers, super leaves, and such. But by 1.3, we had items like the ice flower, the hammer suit, and the Goomba's shoe, plus a few originals. Like the Podobo's shoe, which acts a lot like a Goomba shoe but can walk on lava. The Lakitu shoe, which can fly. The Billy Gun, which constantly shoots bullet bills. The Flamethrower propeller box, which propels the player up while shooting out a constant stream of fireballs. And last but certainly least, Toothy's Pipe, which actually predates the Potted Piranha Plant from 3D World by at least 3 years. The game design supports the power-ups well, between the lovingly crafted levels of the Invasion 2 or even just the Toad houses where you pick the items up. The game is also really nice on the eyes. Redigit clearly wanted a mashup of styles with a heavy SNES bias, and it really works. Despite there being Koopa Troopas from Mario's 1, 3, and World, they managed to feel more like different species than mismatched styles, and I'm pretty positive that was intentional. It's really cool how all of these custom sprites and official sprites from several different games and a few series all work well together. The levels are pretty fantastic. They're all highly creative, like the Ponehammer levels, where you constantly shoot projectiles at oncoming enemies. Or this super fun sewer level that makes you explore the negative space between the stage. And it makes you double back on a pipe to get to the main meat of the level, only to make you do it again for the secret exit. It's just insanely creative, even down to the writing. Levels like Feel the Shotgun Vases, the Dungeon of Inappropriate Phrases, and Lakitu Warzone stand out just because of how they're named. Even the dialogue is fun, like this very first Toad house. The Toad is very insistent that we can't go into his house.
Stay out of my house! The door's locked and I don't even want you thinking about going down my chimney!
But Toads exist to help us, so we'll go inside anyway. As soon as we get down the chimney though, we're forced to kill a Goomba, and by the looks of things, he was close with that Toad. Oh well, my shoe now.
Andrea, I think that's considered breaking and entering. And manslaughter.
That's probably fine. Bottom line, this might be one of the most creative Mario games I've ever played. Doubly so, considering it released right in the middle of the new Super Mario Bros. Anthology. But like, nobody's here for the main campaign, right? Super Mario Bros. X is a fantastic Mario game, but it really wouldn't have any lasting impact if it was just The Invasion 2. Super Mario Bros. X is best known for its extensive level editor, and as such, The Invasion 2 is a great showcase of what that level editor can do. Going back and making a level with this game is insane. It's not as intuitive as Super Mario Maker, but it's 1,000 times more robust. And it's important to note that the final version of this game, 1.3, was released nearly 5 years before Super Mario Maker. The event and layer system can be a little difficult to wrap your head around, sure, but the ability to add custom graphics, anything in the game, the insane amount of NPCs and items, honestly, you could pretty much make whatever kind of level you wanted. It clears the original Super Mario Maker, and it gives Mario Maker 2 a run for its money. Like, isn't it crazy how we can't control how steep a slope is in the official Maker games? It really filled a niche that Nintendo wouldn't fill officially for quite some time. I spent more time making levels than anything else in the world when I was a kid, even if most of them were just f***ing around with power-ups. I really like this light blue Yoshi that spits ice. I'm sure the game would have gotten better with time, but honestly, I doubt Redigit would have been the main developer for much longer, considering the elephant in the room. But surely someone else could take the reins and— oh, sorry, let me get this. Hello? Really? Okay, I'll let them know. They hit the second tower. On April 15, 2011, Redigit wrote the following.
Last Friday, I received a call from Nintendo's lawyers asking me to remove Super Mario Bros. X from the site and delete all SMBX videos from my YouTube account. They also asked me to transfer supermariobros.org over to them. I have complied with the first two wishes, but I do not want to lose supermariobrothers.org. It is a good Mario fan site, even without Super Mario Bros. X. They were going to decide on that and get back to me. I was waiting to hear back from them before I made any statement about this, but the rumors needed to be cleared up. I have a lot of respect for Nintendo and never intended to cause any problems for them. I'm gonna ask that you guys refrain from posting copies of SMBX on the internet, as it goes against Nintendo's wishes and can make things more complicated for me.
All official downloads were pulled off the internet. Lots of fan-made campaigns halted development, and thousands of fans were wondering if Nintendo, a company we all thought highly of at the time, would have really done something so cruel. Almost exactly 1 month later, Andrew Redigit Spinks launched Terraria. It was developed in only 5 months, likely assisted by Spinks' 2 full years working on SMBX. And the little fan game that could was left abandoned, only to be re-uploaded to sketchy sites for the rest of time. Until in 2019, the new owner of the SMBX forums, Clay, was contacted by none other than Redigit and gifted the source code for SMBX 1.3. It was stripped of the Mario assets, but those were easily replaceable. It was published in February of 2020, and as much as I'd love to say it left a huge splash, it was simply too little too late. There have been several successor projects in the works for years at this point, and although none of them really surpassed the original, at least 2 of them went toe-to-toe with it. The first one, created by Russian user Volstand, was titled the Moondust Project. It was built on a recreation of Super Mario Bros. X, but used completely original characters and was pushed as a free and open source game engine and toolkit. So it was basically a platformer game engine. Later they released the plain engine without any assets and a full recreation of the original Super Mario Bros. X down to compatibility with the original game's files and levels. The main upside to this port is that it's on everything. Look, I made this quick level and world. Hey, I never pretended I was mature. Anyway, let's see how many different versions of this specific port I can get my level on. 3DS, Wii, Wii U, Android, DSi, and browser. There would be more, but I don't have a PS Vita or hacked Switch. Running parallel to that is SMBX 2, which saw its first beta release in December of 2015 and is now a fully viable replacement for the original game. Not only is it fully compatible and almost one-to-one with the original SMBX, but it's got plenty of extra features and parts built in. And with the addition of a Luna Lua code editor, anyone can make their own custom assets and parts. I mean, the level playing in the background is one I designed from the ground up with tons of custom assets and moving parts. The latest version, Beta 5.4, released this month, so we're a long way away from losing this one. From here, there's not really anywhere to go but up. Redigit is still working on Terraria updates, the community keeps rallying behind Super Mario Bros. X, and these two games that share so much DNA despite being so fundamentally different will both live on in the hearts of millions for years to come. As for Super Mario Bros. X, I can't wait to see where it goes next. And as for Terraria, you still can't make me play Terraria. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, YouTube thinks you're gonna like this one even more.
I jump on a turtle, Stewie.